Hello everyone, in this video we will study about vegetative propagation, which is a part of chapter 1, Reproduction in Organisms. Vegetative propagation means the formation of new plants from the vegetative parts of the plant. Now here I would like to make you understand that vegetative growth, what is it? Vegetative growth means the increase in the number of roots in a plant, increase in stem length and diameter, and increase in the number of leaves. So once a plant attains an optimum vegetative growth, means optimum increase in the root, stem and leaves happen, then only plant enters into the reproductive phase. Now reproductive phase in the plant, it is characterized by the onset of flowering. Means when you observe plants with flowers, that means they are in their reproductive phase. Prior to that, enough amount of vegetative growth should happen. So once you are using the vegetative parts of the plant to form a new plant, then it is known as vegetative propagation. And specifically, if you are using a particular part, for example, if you are using root, if you are using stem or leaf, then these specific parts will be known as vegetative propecules. So the parts that are used for vegetative propagation, they are known as vegetative propecules. You can use a part of root, stem or leaf. My tutorials here are specifically based on the NCERT. So these can serve as a substitute for NCERT. According to the NCERT, we need to study stem and leaves in detail because they are given in NCERT and the questions come from this only in the boards. So vegetative propagation term is used when we are talking about plants. So once enough vegetative growth happens, then only the plant enters into the reproductive phase. So here we will study vegetative propagation by stem and vegetative propagation by leaf. Now we will study that stem could be subaerial or it could be underground. Both are there in grade 12 syllabus. In subaerial, we will be studying 3, and the first one of course will be runner. The second one will be your sucker, and third one will be offset. In the case of underground, we will be studying rhizome and we will be studying tuber. In leaves, we are going to study about bulb and bulbils in bryophyllum. So one by one we will go ahead. Let's start with runner first. Runner are the weak stems that lie prostrate to the ground. Prostrate means they will be lying on the floor, and you know that stem, it is always differentiated into node and internode. Node are the places where branching occurs. Suppose this is your one node, this is your one node, and branching always occurs at the nodal position. So in the case of runner, roots arise and leaves they form at the top. So once if this area between the two nodes, it is known as internode. So if break happens between two nodes, then these plants, they will live individually. So we can get two plants if one break happens. So runner is quite prominent in a plant known as Lepia nodiflora. Here you must understand that what are runners, and along with that you have to learn the example also. So runners are the weak prostrate stems with node and internode. If break happens in the internode, then the plant, the broken parts, they live their life individually. Right? Next we are moving towards sucker, which is seen in mentha, commonly named as mint. In this, what happens is the plant, this is the stem which is above ground and these are the roots. Now a bud appears here underground, partially underground, and this forms a branch. Now as soon as this branch touches the soil, then roots appear here also. Now if we separate this part by our own hands, or if accidental breakage may happen, then both the parts, they live their life individually. So sucker is formed when a part of the stem is formed from the axially bud. It grows obliquely, means diagonally. The place where it touches the ground, that will form the root. Once separation of such part has been done, then both the parts, this part and this part, they will live individual life. Means we are getting more plants only from one. So vegetative propagation, it is specifically a part of asexual reproduction. But whenever we are using the term vegetative propagation, it is used specifically for the plants because vegetative parts are there in the plant. Now we are coming towards the offset. Offset is present in the water plant like Eichhornia. Now in Eichhornia, what happens is generally these are the plants that possess only one internode. So this is the internode and the place where growth is happening. This place is going to be your node. This place is also going to be your node. So you can see that they are only one internode long. Now again, break if happens in between, then both these parts, they will live their individual life. So Eichhornia is an example of a water plant. Here I must say that it is an example of water weed also. This was introduced in India from the foreign country, but over a period of time its growth was so rapid that it used to absorb all the dissolved oxygen of the water, which was quite harmful for the aquatic animals, because you know that aquatic animals, they reside in water and they use the dissolved oxygen of the water only. So if Eichhornia is going to be there, then it will utilize all the oxygen content of the water. So aquatic animals, in case of scarcity of oxygen, they will die. So we have completed our sub-aerial stems which are used for vegetative propagation. Now let's start with rhizome. Rhizome examples are turmeric, which is known as haldi in Hindi. Ginger also comes into this category. You might have seen that ginger, it has various lines on it, right? Such type of demarcations are there. So these demarcations are node only, and the area between the two nodes, it is known as internode. So this ginger can be used for vegetative propagation, means a new ginger will form from the existing ginger only. This part of the ginger is known as the rhizome, which is used for vegetative propagation. Turmeric, which is also a root, also exhibits similar type of look or morphology. Now let's come to the next underground stem, as the name itself is suggesting underground. So rhizome will also be found underground. How to differentiate that this is not root and this is a stem? We just need to find nodes and internodes. Nodes and internodes, they are always a part of stem and they are never ever found in the roots. This is very important. Tuber, example is potato, and I hope everyone has seen the potato. That potato shows the appearance of these structures which are known as eyes. Botanically, if we speak about them, then these eyes are node. So you can see 4 nodes on the potato right now, and in between the area is known as internode. When potatoes are kept at home for a longer period of time, then they develop green bud-like structure. So whenever we want to propagate potato, we need tuber only. So we have finished with our vegetative propagation through the subaerial stem and with the underground stem. Now we are moving towards vegetative propagation through leaves. Here we need to study 2 examples. One will be of the bulbs and another will be of the bulbils. Now very important, where are bulbs seen? Bulbs are seen in onion. They are also seen in garlic. In the onion, actually the stem is this black part which I have colored right now. So this is going to be stem, and below this roots are seen. The part which we eat in case of onion, these are the fleshy leaves. Now we will study where are bulbils found. There is a plant with a name called bryophyllum. In the bryophyllum, leaves are generally of this shape. The places where grooves are present, these places are known as leaf notches. So on the leaf notches, small plantlets they are found. Plantlets means miniature form of the plant. So here 6 notches are seen, and you can see that I have drawn 6 plantlets also. So if you want to propagate bryophyllum plant, bryophyllum is a name of a genus. So whenever you are writing the example, please do underline. So bryophyllum plant has leaves with leaf notches. In the leaf notches, little plantlets are found. When we want to propagate bryophyllum, we can take these plantlets and we can sow in the soil. Otherwise, what happens? Generally, when bird or any insect sits on the leaf, then these plantlets they fall down and new bryophyllum plant is formed. So new is formed from the existing one plant only. So again, this is a part of reproduction. So here we have finished vegetative propagation through stem and leaves. Stem, it could be subaerial or it could be underground. Under subaerial, you need to know what is runner, sucker and offset. And in underground, you must know what is rhizome and tuber. In leaves, you know must that what are bulb and bulbils along with the examples. Thank you.